Hello, Instagram and the world. This is Jonathon Melendrez coming to you live. I'm Jonathon Melendrez from Melendrez Dance Studios, and today we have a really excellent show. Somebody really special is going to come on here in just a little bit. We're going to wait till everybody gets settled. Hello, Naran.
That'll be two turns.
Hey, Naran.
Hey, John. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Awesome.
I figured I'd try this video one more time.
Yeah. Good.
As you can see in the studio, the whole point of this show and this video is to show how my private lessons are taught these days.
Yeah.
So the studio, so there aren't too many people at the studio, which is planned, and we're wearing masks.
Right. Right.
And you can see I'm within 6 to 10 feet of my people that I'm choreographing, that I'm working with.
Right. This is the same couple that you had on the other day where we didn't have any sound, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But
Yes.
this isn't the same video though, is it? Is it the exact same? This is
just a little further down into their routine.
Yeah, I thought so because she's not wearing the same clothes.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a different angle from that little sit drop.
yeah, I went back to your YouTube channel after the show because I wanted to see more of the couple dancing, and of course I had the music there and got to really watch them, and it was just beautiful. You've got some cool stuff on your YouTube channel, you know?
I've got a lot of material on my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And you know what? I've got so much more that I haven't really even posted.
Try to find
plenty of dance fails. I have dance fails on my YouTube channel. I have really old professional videos or performances I've done. I've got a lot, and I still got a lot to post too.
Yeah, I enjoy watching it, and I'm sure the other people that get on there watch these things, and it's got to give them a really good idea of what they could do and how much they could enjoy taking these lessons. And then, oh my gosh, the footage of the couples actually at their weddings doing their first dances, that's always such a joy to be able to, to get out there and do something that not only makes the couples so happy, but also everybody that's watching. It's awesome.
Speaking about making people happy, I know that today we have a very special guest today, and there's so much information. There's so much information that I have on our next guest. Her name is Rosie Moor.
Right.
Rosie Moor. And the background that I have on this woman is it's insane because it sounds like she's like a superhero. She does so many things.
Yeah.
And she's a mom. So Rosie Moore, for the people who don't know, is Miss Puerto Rico,
She's
right?
Miss she's Miss Puerto Rico World. Miss Puerto
Miss
Rico World. Yeah. Yeah.
Miss Puerto Rico World.
Yeah, there's a lot of different titles in pageantry, and I got to tell you, John, I've learned so much about pageantry having known Rosie. I've known Rosie, oh gosh, 12 years, 15 years. I'm not even sure, but I met her also when I was doing the Brides Against Breast Cancer charity work several years ago, and she's up in the Orlando area. But she does so much that I'm not even going to bother to try to introduce her because I think we should hear it directly from her.
You know what? I think you're totally right about that, and I think she's ready to come on the air now. I see her with a little wave. Hi, Rosie.
Great.
All
Why
right.
don't you kick me off and let's get Rosie on. And this is going to be a wonderful, wonderful interview. You're going to love this woman.
All right. Let's go.
I'll be here.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. So we have Rosie on with us here, and I got to go over some of the titles or some of the background work that she does. And not only is she a Miss Puerto Rico World, I didn't know that. I definitely want to ask about that. But she's also a wedding planner. She's an event planner. She's done pageantry for a very long time, and she also has her own charity called The Gift of Life, which helps premature babies. And she's also in the healthcare field. Oh my God, is there anything that this woman just does not do? So I hear her. I don't see her yet, but I know we're connecting in there somewhere. Rosie, is that you in the background?
Yes, I can see you, but I only see like a stationary picture of me. So I'm not sure. Do I need to do something?
I don't think so. I think we need to do this again. All right. There's always something going wrong. I've always thought technology is great when it works. When it works, it's fantastic. But when it doesn't work, and we're all just a witness of that, it gets really frustrating and
I can hear you.
I can hear you. Can't
But
see you.
Yeah, I can hear you, but I only see like a frozen picture of me.
Oh, really?
Yes. Just a frozen picture.
Oh, yeah. Do you have iPhone or is it an Android? Maybe that could be.
This is an Android.
It's an Android.
Yeah. Does it have to be iPhone?
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes that's way above my pay grade here.
I have an iPhone. I can go grab that quick and see if that'll help. Hang on.
Sure. Go ahead, give it a shot. See if that'll help. Or maybe it's just the connection. But in any case, while we're waiting for Rosie, Miss Puerto Rico World, I must announce that on Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock, I am giving group classes. I'm giving a new series of group classes on Tuesdays at 7 o'clock. We're doing American Style Cha-Cha. And American Style Cha-Cha is very similar to, well, I don't want to say it's similar to, but it came from the American Mambo. And Mambo was a big hit back in the day. It's now called Salsa. Mambo is also commonly referred to as Salsa on 2, which I think it doesn't really apply. But Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock on my website, my brother and I have combined forces, and we do the group classes right off of his website. His website is royalpalacedance.com. royalpalacedance.com. And if you hook into that calendar, you'll see a whole week's listing of group classes that you see. Or if you happen to be on my website, melendrezdancestudios.com, you'll see in group classes, you click into group classes, and then that'll bring you straight to the monthly schedule about what's going on. Private lessons, private lessons are still doing the same. We're doing mask to mask private lessons in West Palm Beach right now. And we're also doing private lessons virtually too. So I still give group classes weekly and private. And I think we have her. I think
Can
we
you
have
see me?
Miss Puerto Rico.
Oh, I see you
Yes,
now.
I can
Okay.
see you. Fantastic.
Yay.
Beautiful. You look gorgeous. I love that looks like a crown or a tiara. That's a crown, right?
Crown. There you go.
That's
Can you see
beautiful.
it?
Yeah, I love it.
Thank you. I dressed for the part today.
I love it. Always play, always, absolutely. So we're settled in now. It looks like we got a good connection.
Yes, perfect.
Oh, excellent. Well, I hope this interview goes well because there's so much to talk about. And it's such an honor to speak to somebody of world importance. What is your Miss Puerto Rico world? Can you explain that to me? Because I just don't know the difference.
Sure. Well, world is when you're representing countries. So I wanted to represent the country that my dad was from. Last year, I lost my dad unexpectedly, and I really lost my passion for everything, for dance, for pageantry, even for the charity. And as I thought about it and prayed about it, something inside of me said, but how are you honoring your dad by giving up on everything that you worked so hard for and that he was so proud of you for? And then I thought about it and I said, I need to interview with an organization where I can represent his country. And that's how I found the World Pageants. And I interviewed with them. I was a little nervous because I've never been at such a caliber of a stage this way. And when I interviewed, it was a phone interview. I got the opportunity to represent Miss Puerto Rico. But not only that, I also wanted to make sure it was a country that had premature birth rates where our charity can make a difference in that country. And Puerto Rico does have high statistics of premature birth.
Wow, that's amazing. Now I know you have a charity foundation that you're really close with, and there's a lot of things that you do. I would definitely want to hit a few of them, and then I can see how they would tie in all together here. So Miss Puerto Rico World is pageantry. How did you get into pageantry?
Well, a few years ago, I had gained about 50 pounds. I was always pretty thin, but stress from work, stress of having a baby born premature, it kind of followed me for a few years. And I went to my doctor, and my doctor said, listen, either you lose weight or I put you on like all these blood pressure medicines because your blood pressure is out the door. And I was like, okay, we're not taking any medicine. We're going to do the easier part. And so when I lost all that weight, I posted my accomplishments. Someone said to me, hey, you know what? You can be in pageantry and reach a different audience and help your charity. And I thought, well, I'm shorts and flip-flops, girl. I don't really dress like this unless I have to, like for work or that kind of thing. And they said, well, you can reach a bigger audience. So I experimented with that. And that's how I got into it. I did my first pageant in 2017. It wasn't as great of an experience, but then after that, I got into a different system and learned how to be able to connect with people and actually make a difference. And through our charity, we've actually supported some sister queens who've had premature babies. And in turn, I've received help from them. When some of our families need something, they've gone ahead and donated funds, time, and it's just been an overall great experience that I just love.
Wow, that's quite the experience.
Yes.
What about wedding planning? What about time for wedding planning? Do you have time for that? And how do you do that? Tell me a little bit about what you do with that.
Well, I'm a master wedding planner. That's actually how I met Angela because she was at a Brides Against Breast Cancer event. And my heart has always been with charity. But I find time for everything, believe it or not. I'm very organized, I live by my calendar, and I pretty much tie everything and all my experience, they all kind of match. I'm a nurse consultant right now. And so a lot of my skills are transferable to wedding planning and to nursing and to the charity. And we've actually done some charity weddings for cancer brides, even for a mom who had a baby born premature. And Angela's always been there whenever I say, hey, do you think you can sponsor a pair of shoes for one of our brides? She's always there for us. And pretty much finding the time is just a matter of organization. It always, to me, if you're doing a full service wedding, it takes about 200 hours to do someone's wedding if you're planning it in that year. And you just have to be so organized and so detailed and really listen to what the bride and the groom want for that special day and make that happen for them.
Wow. Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, just that alone is a lot of work.
Right.
A lot of planning, a lot of behind the scenes managing.
I have a great team. My husband is the officiant, but he's also the manager for the business, and he manages all our lines of business, and he's great at it because he keeps me in check. He helps me stay organized besides my calendar. And I have a great team that works with me in everything pretty much that I do. So that helps to make that day flow smoothly.
Yeah, it's hard to be an accomplished person by yourself. You really need
Correct.
a team of people to work together to really, push the engine through and make things happen.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
so tell me about your healthcare field. You're a nurse, you said. You're a nurse consultant, you said, right?
Yes, I'm a nurse consultant, and I have patients that I see at home for Humana Healthcare. That's one of my contracts. Right now, we're doing everything through telehealth because of the COVID, so we can't see them. My patients, I talk to them every couple of weeks, and they are chomping at the bit as to when I can get back home because, some of them don't have anybody to visit them. And I understand where Humana is coming from, and they are going to play safe until they allow people to go into nursing homes. They're not going to let us go into a person's private home, and rightfully so because they're protecting them and us. And then I also work for the government. I work with injured workers, and I help them to get back to work safely. Again, with those, I've had to do teleconferences. It's been interesting. The doctors are learning something new because we want to be there for the injured worker. And yes, it's added more hours to the day because what you can accomplish in person is now phone calls, faxes, teleconferences. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is that you're helping people to get back to work safely. I love what I do because I work for myself. So I pretty much make my own hours. I know when I have to do certain things, and I plan around my calendar so that I can encompass all the things that I do.
Wow, that's great. That's fantastic. And you probably rolls up into one big platform, and that's as Miss Puerto Rico World.
Yes.
Miss Puerto Rico is just Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
Miss
And
Puerto
then
Rico World.
Right. So now our competition it got moved. It was supposed to be in July in Cancun, but it got moved to Vegas in October, hopefully. And I will be competing for the world title.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
it is.
crazy. Now, competing in order to get the platform Miss Puerto Rico World so that you can, do the good that you want to do. I want to talk about your charity in a second here. What's involved in competing for that title so you can get that platform?
You have to be a people person, first of all. genuine. This system, they're not looking for what they call pageant patties, which is someone who's done pageants all their life and they answer questions based on what you think you want to hear or what you think they want to hear. You really have to be genuine, but not only that, you have to show that you're actually doing something. You just can't say, oh, I donated time to this charity or that charity. They actually want to see that you're doing that and that you're making a difference, because it's not just a beauty pageant. This system, it doesn't matter what race, what color your skin is, what your body type is. They're really looking for someone to represent their brand as someone that's going to empower women, which is really important to me because there's a lot of women that suffer from self-esteem issues. And I love being able to work with someone and say, hey, you can do this. You really can, no matter what they look like. I do some pageant coaching, so I'm able to get people to feel comfortable in their own skin so that they don't feel like, oh, what are they going to think of me? Because you know what? You have to love yourself. And then once you
Yeah.
love yourself, you can really do a lot of things and a lot of good out there.
Right. Are each competitions that you compete for, are they all the same, or do they have different features in the competition that you have to overcome?
They're pretty much interview, fitness, and evening gown. Those are the three areas of competition in most pageants. This one is the same. You do your interview with a panel of judges, and then you do your fitness wear, and then you do, of course, your evening wear, which I always wear my Angela Naran shoes because she is like my greatest sponsor. People laugh at me when, not laugh in a bad sense, but they're like, how the heck do you have like 10 pairs of shoes at a competition? And mind you, we've driven to past competitions. This time we're going to have to fly, but I still managed to bring my array of shoes, like for every outfit. And Angela and I consult like, okay, does this shoe look good with this outfit? And it's just great because they're comfortable and I love wearing them and I love representing her brand because she sponsors a lot of different charities and I just, love working with her.
You must travel with an incredible amount of luggage.
Yes, that's why you bring your husband, so that way you can put some of your stuff in his luggage. Because that's essentially what I do. Because, you got to
Well,
have your competition wear on your carry-on because God forbid that they lose it. So, yeah, when they open up the suitcase, to do their little inspection, I mean, we now have the, what is that? Not the global entry, the other one, the pre-check. So they don't really mess with it. But initially it was funny because they'd look at the luggage and they're like, Mr. Moore? And he's like, is this your luggage? And he's like, yep. And it's got like shoes and makeup and all this other stuff in there.
well, Miss Puerto Rico World is quite the achievement. I'm sure you have sponsors for. Do you have sponsors for dresses? We just talked about sponsors for your shoes. Do you have other sponsors that help you do this?
I do. I have Minerva's Bridal has sponsored me for dresses in the past. And also I have print sponsor because you also need your autograph cards, which is like an 8x10 picture of you. However, I work with my sponsor, Aloma Printing, because I want to be able to not just have someone remember my face, because you can hand someone an autograph picture, even anywhere you go, any event, and they'll remember your face for a brief minute. So what I do is I put my charity information on the back with all the details about the state, country, city, whichever one I'm representing. So that way it's not just the face they're going to remember. When they flip that over, they'll say, oh yeah, she was the girl that works with premature babies. And they're more apt to keep that than they would probably a picture, because they'll say, oh yeah, somebody I know works in that, and they'll pull up your information. Because I've gotten calls from people that say, hey, you probably don't remember me, but you gave me your autograph card at this event and I have a relative whose baby was born premature. Can you help them? And I'm like, yes, of course. This is what I live for. This is why I do this. So that's, one of our other sponsors. I've had Kendra Scott. They sponsor a lot of my earrings that I wear at the pageants. So that's, always good. And then, a couple of hair and makeup people that depending on if it's local or traveled, that have sponsored me as well.
Right. Wow, that's fantastic. So
Mhm.
as Miss Puerto Rico World, that's your platform to spring off of one of your favorite types of work, which is, I'm assuming, is your charity, the Gift of
Correct.
Life. Can you tell
Yes.
us a little bit about that?
Well, the gift of life was born from me having my son born premature. He was 1 pound, 10 ounces, born 13 weeks early. We were in the neonatal intensive care unit for 5.5 months. And this is how that charity was formed. When it was formed, my husband and I thought, what can we do to help someone else? Because we're hurting, so I'm pretty sure other people are hurting. And we started out literally with cookies because we brought cookies to the nurses, but we thought, well, the nurses aren't the ones that need the help. It's the patients, the parents. So from there, we decided to bring cookies to the parents the following year once we were home. Then someone heard that we were doing them and they said, hey, can you use a couple of knitted hats and knitted bears? And this started where people were just sending these donations in, and we were like, wow. And we did our first charity gala in 2014. And from there, we decided that we would become a 501c3. And we got our determination to be a charity within 2 weeks of applying. It was kind of unheard of because we contacted the attorney and we said, hey, is this a Dear John letter? Because they're saying that they're giving us this number and to wait for some official letter or something. And he said, when did you apply? And I said, just 2 weeks ago. And he's like, that's unheard of. He's like, most charities take 9 months and they get kicked back because there's always something missing. And he said, who helped you fill the paperwork out? I said, well, Marcus, my husband filled everything out. We've never done this before. And he said, you must have like the grace of God or something on you, because he said, this is unheard of. And he said, yes, you are a legitimate charity. It took us 2 weeks to get the approval. And here we are. We've had to cancel, of course. Our gala was supposed to be this September. We're waiting for Disney to open because we're at Disney this year. But we're waiting for a date for next year. Last year,
Right.
we canceled a month before because my dad passed away the month before the gala. And it just, in my heart, I just couldn't go through with it. So
Sure.
we thought, this is our year, 2020, and then COVID happened. But we're still working and doing things, not as fully as we want to, but we're still doing donations. We meet the hospital administrator in a parking lot and give her the donations, because that way we don't have to go through the whole temperature check and everything else. So,
Yeah.
we're still trying to make a difference. Parents are still calling us because premature birth doesn't stop. Right now, we're on a hunt for, I just got a message late last night. We're on a hunt for a pilot and a plane. We have a family that needs to bring their twin preemies from Salt Lake City, Utah to Tampa. So we're on a hunt for a private plane or something. The family has some money to pay for it, but not $50,000, which is what some companies are charging.
Wow.
Yes, it's too long of a drive with two preemies on oxygen. And it's too risky on a commercial liner because of the oxygen, and also because of the risk of infection.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I've been asking everybody how COVID has been affecting their lives and their businesses,
Mm.
and everyone's adjusting. I can't imagine how COVID is affecting you and in your type of work, what you want to do. How is it affecting you?
Well, in the nursing part, everything is now telephonic. The charity part is also telephonic, except when we meet with the hospital administrator to do the donations. But the weddings, those are the ones that have suffered, and our travel, because I plan their honeymoons. Weddings are all canceled or rescheduled. We have one coming up this weekend. It's actually for my husband. It's rescheduled from April and it's in July. But it's now a small wedding. So a lot of people, they're scared. They don't know what to do. Some have gone ahead and done just like an intimate wedding. I know my friends in the industry, they're struggling with with this, and some of them don't have something else to fall back on like I do. So it makes it difficult for them because it's their only source of income. It's just something unheard of. Like we've never, I mean, they had a pandemic, what, 100 years ago? But I don't know anybody like in that, I hear of people's grandparents from that era, but
Yeah.
it's just unheard of.
Yeah, it's a really crazy mess right now. This whole COVID thing, it's really put a damper on things. But there are some good things. People are one of the first good things that I've noticed was that instead of my buddies and my friends calling me, now all my friends are FaceTiming me now. So, and which is pretty interesting. But I know there's a lot of good things coming out of COVID. The families getting together, they're being
Yeah.
closer. So there are some things that are good.
Well, one thing that I thought was strange, and it like gave me this feeling of like, wow, I mean, I dance and we have our annual recital every May. Ours was supposed to be, of course, May 30th. But of course, when COVID shut everybody down, they were doing the Zoom classes online for dance, which is kind of weird because it's like you got the teacher, you're trying to practice, stuff for the dance show. And I just said to her, Stacy, I just can't do this like online thing. It's driving me batty because one thing is the exercise, but another thing is to do the actual dance routine, and it's just her. And then you got a bunch of little boxes with everybody else, and you're like depending on each other. So of course, when they opened up the floodgates that we can come back in, we had extra classes because one of the students was a private student. So we were like, hey, can we crash your class since you're already practicing our stuff? And he's like, sure, come on. And so, yeah, what was funny, we lost one girl because she was moving. And so she was waiting till the end of recital, which didn't happen May 30th. So we lost her. Then the guy that we were supposed to dance with, he was like the main cheese in the dance. He had some issues in his office. Somebody had developed COVID or something. And so they quarantined him like right before we came back to class. So he didn't have it, but of course the whole office has to be. And so that kind of messed it up. So we went from 5 people to 4 people, and now we were 3 the week before. And so our recital was virtual. It was different because there's nobody in the room except the videographer, the owner of the studio, and we kind of convinced our teacher to be in the dance with us. And she's like, I haven't danced on a stage in like 9 years, and it's like my first year, and I have to do it virtual. But we did what we could. I mean, we asked for forgiveness because we were like, this dance has changed already twice, and in 1 week, we had to change it. From him being the center of attention to just the 3 of us trying to figure out and adding steps. So we were like, if we missed a step, oh well. We did what we could, and we said COVID is not going to let us not do this dance show. We're going to do it. And we
Step
did.
aside, COVID. That's right.
Yep. And we did. It was just different because you don't get to hug people, and some of the girls that graduate high school, you don't get to like say goodbye to them because we didn't even see them because you were given a slot and you were to show up at that slot and then you go home. There's no hanging out at the studio. There's nothing. But we overcame it, and that's what counts. We did it.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. It's a great accomplishment, and something as complicated as COVID.
Yes,
for sure. I wanted to highlight everything that you did. In your looks like a resume that I want to cover as much as I could to give you another venue of getting a message out there. Is there something else that you wanted to talk about that maybe I didn't cover, or something that you wanted to say out there that maybe I didn't bring out, or is there something missing that I didn't cover?
You know what? I wanted to share with all my brides and grooms and the ones that haven't hired me yet, but the ones that are thinking of getting married. I strongly suggest that not that everything in life has to be choreographed, but that everything in life, as far as their first dance, should be so relaxed and that they shouldn't be having anxiety over it. I
Right.
love when my brides and grooms say, "Hey, who can you recommend for a first dance?" And that I'm
Right.
able to connect them. Even we do quinces and sweet 16s, and we also refer them out. But something for the bride and groom, it just like melts my heart to know that they've practiced and that they're at a relaxed mode. I've had people that literally they say, "I can do the two-step, move right and move left." And it's like, and some of them, they haven't been able to afford like to be able to pay choreography or have time to do it. So I've given them pointers in doing it, but I tell them I don't have time to choreograph stuff, but I have done stuff for them so that they're able to look presentable. But that's one of the things that I say to them. It's like, this is your moment. This is something that years from now, you're going to remember looking into each other's eyes and being able to just remember. It doesn't have to be picture perfect like they do in the movies, but be comfortable with it because
Right.
everybody's looking at you. And I know some people, it's like nerve wracking because it's like, oh my God, everybody's looking at me. We're doing our first dance. And I just say to them, just relax, just go with it. I mean,
Right.
take a class or two and just be relaxed. Enjoy the moment because when you blink, it's done.
Yeah. 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 As before I wrap this up, I want to say hi to Mom. Mom just joined Abuela right in there. Hi, Mom.
Oh, hey, Mom.
Mom, this is this is Miss Puerto Rico World.
Where does Mom
So
live?
she lives in Boston, Mass.
Oh, okay. You know, I went to Puerto Rico in 2015 and I competed in the International Ballroom Dance out there with my dance partner. So it was a boatload of fun. I mean,
You know, I didn't get that. I didn't hear about that. With that's another show altogether, right there.
hey, anytime. I love the ballroom. I miss going to classes for that, but I
Yeah,
see that my ballroom dance teachers, they're doing their thing and wearing their mask and just trying to be socially distant. But
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just so weird to see that.
It is. It is weird. It is weird. What? How? If someone wants to hire you for wedding planning. How can they reach you?
Sure, they can either call 407-905-5454, or they can visit our website, www.27miraclesbyrosie.com. Or they can find us on Facebook under 27 Miracles Wedding Consulting. One of those things. Or they could just Google my name and it'll come up and they'll be able to reach me for anything pretty much. They can reach me for the charity, they can reach me for the pageant,
Right.
because pretty much everything is interfaced and connected in some way or form. Some
Yeah.
people just do just Rosie Moore 27 and they find me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's fantastic. You've been such a great guest. You're full of
Thank you.
interesting, interesting things here. We could talk all day just
I know,
about
right?
this.
I know, right? But yeah, everybody would probably get bored by then.
Right, right. Well, listen, thanks for coming on, Rosie. I really appreciate your time and doing this for us. And, you know, I hope that your message comes out in our interview. And I'm going to be posting this on all the platforms that I can possibly put out. And hopefully, you know, there's some benefit in there for you to find your
Thank
person for
you.
the plane ride and help you possibly get more sponsors in what you do. And good luck with your healthcare and being a nurse consultant, because I know
Thank
that's a
you.
tough job. My
It
wife's an
is.
ER nurse, and that's time
Oh, wow.
consuming and a lot of hard work. So thank
It
you
is.
again for your time and best wishes to you. I hope maybe sometime in the future we can bring you back again and we can talk about
Sure.
your ballroom competitions.
Sure. Because I know you're a ballroom dance teacher, right?
Yeah, yeah. I've been doing
So,
that. I choreograph first dances. I compete, all that jazz.
yeah, I'd love to.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much
for
for
having
coming on,
me.
Rosie.
Thank you. Bye
Have a
bye.
good afternoon. Bye bye.
You too. Bye bye.
Wow, she's a ballroom dancer too. Holy cow. Wow. Man, she is loaded with goodies, man. She's loaded with goodies.
John, Rosie, I hope you're still there, darling. Stay with us for a couple of minutes. I knew that Rosie was phenomenally accomplished. I've known her for a long time, but I learned a lot about her today, and
Yeah.
and I felt so bad because I didn't know she did competition ballroom. Obviously, if I knew that, I would have, told you about that. But
Listen, all the more reason why we need to bring her back again.
I think you could, yeah, she needs to be a regular, for goodness sakes. Oh my gosh. Isn't
Let's
she?
let's work on that idea.
Yeah, she's a phenomenal, phenomenal woman. I'm so glad that she carved time out because she's super, super busy. Obviously, you can see with all of the different things that she does. And she does those galas to earn money and sponsorship and bring awareness for the gift of life. And every single time that she's had a gala up in Orlando, she always asks me, and I want to go. And every year, it has not failed. Every year, there has been something that prevented us from going. Either I had another commitment or, someone in the family got sick or something. And then this year, we were supposed to be going, and my husband's nephew was supposed to be getting married at the same time, but now his wedding got canceled because of COVID, and of course, the gala was canceled because of COVID. And so I'm hoping that when she does her competition in Las Vegas, I hope that doesn't get canceled, and maybe Paul and I can go up to Vegas for the competition. I love going to
Yeah.
Vegas; it's a lot of fun. But
Yeah.
I'd love to be there to support her. I do. I love that she talked about her shoe sponsorship. I didn't even ask her to do that, but I do make custom
She's a
shoes
professional.
for her gowns. I talked to you a session or two ago or a feed ago about doing dyeing, and I just wanted to show you. For example, if Rosie had a gown in this color, this is a pair of shoes that I just dyed.
Yeah.
To match. I hope it's showing up. But this is the kind of stuff that I do for brides, mothers, mothers of the groom, or of course, someone like Rosie or anyone that needs fashion shoes to go with their dresses. So we customize.
Right.
But anyway, Rosie, it's a joy, darling. And I know that we need to do something for that beautiful red dress. You sent me pictures of her. She's got this, oh, you should see this dress, John, in a red. So I need to do a shoot for her in that color.
Awesome. Thanks again for helping out. You're
Always.
awesome.
I love being here, John. This is so much fun. And I thought Rosie was an amazing guest. I thank you so much for giving her this opportunity to talk about what she does. And I hope somebody out there can help them, find a plane and a pilot. I do have a friend who's a private pilot, and I texted him last night to see if he might be able to bring those preemie babies to Tampa. But anybody that's watching this, if there's anybody that can help them, please get in touch with John. Obviously, get in touch with Rosie. And if you can't find anybody else, get in touch with me, and I'll put that information and make that connection.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay, John, take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so that's our show for today. I do want to leave with this new screenshot. I hope it's available. I mean, I hope you can see it. We have group classes, private lessons, and first dance consultation. So please call. And we had a great show today with Rosie Moor, Miss Puerto Rico World. And everybody have a nice day. Be safe, and please wear a mask.